This is very exciting. This is our second webinar for the village. Last webinar was the unveiling of the project, and we're very excited to see all the interest. And we're also going to be coming to the US right after Hanukkah to have a bunch of parlor meetings and to meet people. So if you guys are interested in meeting in person, we'll be there. We're probably going to be in Canada later on in the year and in some other places across the globe. So let's get started. My name is Lev Blinder. This is Nechemya Kaufman, my partner. We're also accompanied here by Israel Jacobowitz. Israel Jacobowitz is a dear friend of ours, and he's a very diligent lawyer who will be joining us and sharing a lot of words of wisdom later on the process of buying in Israel. And let's dive into this project. So, as I said before, my name is Lev Blinder. This is Nechemya Kaufman. I made Aliyah with my family when I was young, and I literally went through the process of making Aliyah, and I felt the different struggles that me and my parents had to deal with while making Aliyah. One of the very big struggles was the real estate aspect of things, and and over the years I realized how there is not enough help for Anglos to buy in Israel, and the process that I would say is not the simplest process, but could be simplified and could be much easier. It becomes very complicated for Anglos, and we at IL360 we really try to make the process as clear as possible. That way, people come in with their eyes wide open to the deal and try to make everything as smooth and as common possible. That way, it could be a very good experience and a very good transaction. So that's what we do at IL360, and we're excited to showcase an incredible development here. So before I hop on and speak about the development, I would like to speak about I would like to speak a little bit about the situation in Israel and a little bit about the situation of Jews abroad. Um, Really, it's an incredible thing, and it really was a very inspiring to see how many people signed up to this webinar, how many people signed up to last webinar, and to every time we bring a very every time we make a webinar, there are so many people that are interested in joining. Also, when we go to the States, we have an office in Teaneck, New Jersey. We get to meet a lot of people, and we see how uh, everybody throughout whatever stage they're in their life and whatever they're dealing with in their life, they're always looking towards Israel. And it's just Nehemiah was telling me a while ago. Yeah, go for it.
I was telling Lev, we were right before the webinar, and we were going over the slides, and I said, you know what's unique is like I was in during the Iran war in June this past year. I was visiting my brother who lives in Bergenfield, New Jersey, and I was doing a little bit of work, and the war started, so I got stranded there. My brother hosted me very nicely, so it wasn't so bad.
And you ended
But
up coming through where? Through Jordan?
yeah, I threw to Detroit, to Jordan, to Aqaba, and crossed over like the border by foot, literally, in near a lot, which was really quite an experience. But one thing I saw was no matter what happened, they were, shooting hundreds, if not thousands, of missiles at Israel. And everybody I was speaking to, they wanted to do one thing. They wanted to go to Israel. They wanted to go home. And I thought that was an incredible thing. That no matter what happened, no matter what the situation was, people felt that Israel was their home and they are going home no matter what. I thought that was incredible. It gave me a lot of inspiration. Sometimes like when people live here, they just sort of take it for granted. Speaking for myself, but it's really unique and really special to see how the Jews abroad they just like care about Israel and hope for the best. They always support Israel. We really feel it.
Yeah, and it's really not a simple situation that from Jews from everywhere around the world are experiencing. It's really crazy. Um, if it's literally with Memdani and with so many other little changes that the Jews are experiencing and the atmosphere that the atmosphere change that the Jews are experiencing, it's definitely like it feels like it's the bells of Mashiach that it's time to come home. But we're very excited to showcase an incredible development. I really would have loved Zev, a good friend of mine, Zev Epstein, who's the owner of Harey Zahav, who was supposed to be with us today, but he's not. It doesn't seem like he made it. He's in a few important meetings. But I would have loved for him to speak a little bit about Harey Zahav, but I'll give you a little bit of a background. So Harey Zahav, as you could see, has
Well, first of all, speak about Zeb. Like he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy.
Zev is a great guy. Zev made Aliyah as a 15-year-old from Russia, then went back and forth and basically started this development. Or you know what, I really should say a little bit more. But Zev was in the army and he really fell in love with the Judea and Samaria. And in 2007, he opened up Harey Zahav. He started Harey Zahav, and he started with a development called Kedem. It was literally a hilltop that people said was not a good deal, was not a profitable type of development, and they started this development of 700 homes, and it turned into one of the most successful areas in Judea and Samaria today, in the Shomron today, and they've really, and you could see Leshem is right here in the middle, and they've literally gone all over across Israel. All these blue dots are places that they have developments in. So it's really an incredible company, a very, very good company that we're very excited to work with, and we're very happy working with them. And I also have to mention an honorable mention to Lisa, who's here in the background somewhere, who really has been the motor pushing all of this. Okay, so let's speak about Karnei Shomron. So Karnei Shomron, let's give I would say, let's give the highlights of Karnei Shomron first, and then we'll speak about all these in a little bit more depth. So what makes Karnei Shomron special? So we'll hop in and actually see our development in a moment, but a few of the cool things and a few of these things Israel is going to speak about later, things like no purchase tax for foreign buyers. One of the largest, not one of the largest expense that foreigners have to pay when they buy property in Israel. Also, people who are making Aliyah and it's not their first home, or Israelis who it's not their first home, have to pay this purchase tax. It's a purchase tax of 8%. It's a very, very large tax. And when you're in this area, you do not have to pay that purchase tax if you're a foreigner. If you're an Israeli, there's a lower purchase tax bracket. But if you're a foreigner, you're literally dodging a real bullet here. So I would say that's one of the most one of the biggest incentives to buy here. Another very big incentive is the fact that you're living in a suburban area, but you're very close to central Israel. You're literally part of central Israel. There's a vibrant Anglo community with about 200 families that already lives in the area of the development. There is also an incredible amount of natural beauty all around. It's like you're surrounded by nature, and we'll speak about it soon. There's incredible investment potential. We have a variety of different options that you could buy from, if it's apartments that are very affordable, and if you have these gorgeous, big, luxurious homes that we're going to speak about soon, and that really speaks about the affordability and the luxury as well. So if we zoom in to the location of Karnei Shomron, as you can see, Karnei Shomron is right over here. It's parallel to Kfar Saba, Ra'anana, and Herzliya, and it has a direct road leading directly from central Israel to Karnei Shomron. Very accessible, very close. And you can see how close it is to Tel Aviv. It's literally right in central Israel, which is just incredible. And I like saying it like this, but when you go here, let me go to the next slide right over here. But yeah, I'll stay here for a second. I like comparing it when you're in New York City and then you're going up to the mountains. So it's a very big transition and a lot of hours of driving, but you transition from the big vibrant city to just the calm, all the trees, all the greenery, all that kind of suburban type of lifestyle. And it's really crazy that instead of a 3-hour drive, we're talking about a 15 to half an hour drive to a lot of these places, which is incredible.
So basically, what you're saying is I can work in Tel Aviv and live a nice lifestyle.
Easily. Besides, and you don't have to pay the prices of Tel Aviv. You don't have to live in a two room apartment, which compares to one of these homes. It's really incredible. So let's just speak about Karnei Shomron itself. So Karnei Shomron is built of 5 neighborhoods. You have Neve Menachem, Karnei Shomron, Ginot Shomron, Neve Aliza. Neve Aliza is primarily the Anglo community, and then you have Ma'ale Shomron. Our development is right at the tip of Ma'ale Shomron. It's about 10-minute or 7-minute walk from the Young Israel in Neve Aliza, and it's literally let's see it in a second, but the beauty of Karnei Shomron is that Karnei Shomron has everything you need for your daily life. Everything you need, if it's shopping, if it's great transportation, if it's education, a lot of nature, incredible amount of nature. You have an amazing community. We're good friends with the Rosh Motzah over there. They're really doing so much in Karnei Shomron and developing Karnei Shomron so much. It's incredible.
See, people were actually asking me from our previous webinar, is there a pool? Is there a gym? And they were expecting to hear that, like, well, not really. So it's really amazing that they have pretty much everything one needs to live comfortably in Karnei. They have a gas station in Karnei Shomron. You don't have to even go out of Karnei Shomron to fill up gas. You got, like Lev said, shopping, banks, schools.
Doctors' offices. Everything you need is literally a couple minutes from your house. You could see all these landmarks, and there are so many more. There are shopping centers. There's everything you really need. And if we zoom into, as you could see, this is the village by Harey Zahav right up here, and we're going to see this triangle right up here. So
it's green. It's
right
green.
behind.
That's what I see. It's
where
green.
My mouse right over here is. That's where Neve Aliza is, and yeah, it's literally you could say that there is just a pile of green that you came and you just plopped in a development right inside. And the idea is that the development is going to be surrounded by green with green inside it. It should be a very nice atmosphere and vibe. Let's just try to focus a little bit on this development as like and see the macro, see the little details that were put in here. So first of all, these are the buildings in the front of the development, and then further back. As you can see it by the road that goes towards Neve Aliza, these are the 26 semi-attached homes that we have right over here. So this is a street view, just to give a perspective. These are very large homes. These are very large homes. We'll get into the actual sizes in a second when we look at the plans, but we have. Right over here, this is the entrance floor. You have a second floor, and you have a very large basement. It's just an incredible thing. So the whole planning of the whole design and the whole planning of this development is literally the first time we sat with Harey Zahav to figure out the plans and to speak about this development. Harey Zahav they're incredible. They're really an incredible company that they're like, what do we need to make the ideal home for an Anglo family? Like, what do we need? What do we need to do? And we literally spat out a full list, and Harey Zahav literally implemented it into this development incredibly, so much better than we could have imagined. So first of all, the style of the homes, but so much more than the style, the practicality of the homes. Like you see these doors right over here. These doors are doors to the kitchen, like they're doors from the kitchen. The idea is that you could see your kids playing outside, and that your kids could be riding their bikes, playing basketball in the driveway, and you see them from outside. Like all these little details to allow a family to live in the most comfortably and with the most sense of hominess. And it's not like just concrete blocks. Like developers today, their favorite thing to do is just to make these concrete blocks that have no personality to them, and they're just very like lacking life. Here, it's a beautiful just vibe to these homes, and it's really incredible. Like you see this ledge right over here. The idea of this ledge, I don't know where they put it, but the idea of this ledge is that they could have like a little swing with like two seats. Where's Lisa? We need to tell Lisa to maybe have them add this. But like the idea is that it's just a very homey, cozy feeling atmosphere. So let's get in a little bit more to the depth about these homes. So these incredible homes, you could also see just to the details. You see, instead of just plain glass windows, you have these special glass windows. These with a special design, special color. You see this hot tub right over here. I would love to jump into one of those right now, but you see this hot tub? This is just a rendering, but we're actually going to give a hot tub. You see this outdoor kitchen? Everything is literally thought out to the detail. So this is the garden. This is the back garden, and you could see the entrance right over here. And let's hop into the actual plans. Nechemya, you want to show us the actual plans just to see that the size of the home is 3,423 square foot. Like this is a proper home. I know there are some people that probably have double that, but for Israel standards, this is the biggest you could possibly imagine. We did have a client last week that was like, maybe could I connect two? It's a very good question. In Judea and Samaria, it's a little complicated to do such a thing. The technical standpoint, but literally there is so much space here, and it's really built. It's really built well. So let's see this.
So thank you, Lev. I saw you like staring at that, that hot tub. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, my cold beer.
Yeah, a cold beer and a hot tub on a cold night. That sounds fun. So thank you, Lev. Thank you very much. So this home, like Lev said before, is a beautiful, gorgeous home, spanning 3,423 square feet. It has three floors, a main floor, second floor, and then a basement. This is the main floor. So I want to start off right here where the driveway is. So right here is the street. This is the driveway. There's a garage, obviously with the door. Like familiar for people from North America, they're familiar with garages here in Israel. We're not so familiar with them, but they're lovely. And that's one of the things we pointed out to Harey Zahav. We said we think this is going to add value. People are going to feel at home. People are going to feel more, recognize something they already have. So that's one of the features that we added.
With the door going straight into the house, straight into the kitchen. You go, you sit down on your chair,
right? So
you have a good dinner. You know,
you park in the garage and go right inside, right here, so you don't have to go outside to the cold or the heat. And obviously, you could park another a car here, or even two, one also over here. So the main entrance, okay, there's an entrance on the garage, but the main entrance is around. This is the entrance on the right-hand side. You have the kitchen. Just to point out, there's a wide door. Okay, there's a nice big wide door. There are tall ceilings, so it gives an open feeling. And to the right, we have a beautiful kitchen. This is a really, really nice sized kitchen. There's plenty of room for cabinetry, sinks, a massive island in the middle to use for cooking, baking, and also to have a family dinner. People can sit around the island and have a family dinner. Over here, there's more cabinets. So this is a really, really big kitchen. We're going to speak about this in a little bit, but the home comes ready fit with an upgraded kitchen, which is unique. Most developments don't have that, but we'll speak about that in a little bit. As we move into the main living area, there's a toilet over here, a guest toilet, with a nice area here, maybe for a clothes closet, or you can maybe put a coat closet over here. That's something that's always very useful. We have the dining room table area. We have big front. This dining room table area could basically be stretched all the way out to the kitchen. I think you could probably fit like 30 people here.
Much more.
How many?
Much more.
40?
Think about it. Right over here, it shows 8 people. Stretch 4 of those tables.
I got you.
You could fill this place up, and that's without touching the living room.
Right. And just by extending this all the way to the kitchen, there's plenty of
Imagine
space.
a good Sheva Brachot or a nice family gathering.
Yeah, does sound good. Does sound good. There's a nice there's a nice size living room, very cozy. We're actually going to have a fireplace in this area, but we'll speak about that. And then doors going out to the private garden. There's the hot tub. There's a beautiful garden, private. You can have steaks out here. Lev really wants his beer and the hot tub. I'll take a steak and a beer in the hot tub. That's my preference, but there's anybody can have what they choose. That's the beauty about this home. So this is the second floor, so we're one floor up. So this is the plan that has 4 bedrooms. We actually had a plan with 5 bedrooms, and we could still implement that if somebody needs, 5 bedrooms on the second floor. But we actually chose to show the 4 bedroom option just because we thought people would like it a little bit more. The spacious rooms we have here on the top left. Over here we have the master bedroom. It's a really big master bedroom. It has a walk-in closet and a bathroom.
It's a large bathroom.
It's a really large bathroom. It has 2 sinks. It has a toilet and a beautiful big shower. All these rooms are really big. They're massive. The second bedroom, or what we call bedroom one, is the master bedroom, bedroom one. This is the entrance. It has a bed. It has a walk-in closet. This is a laundry room. You could also put the laundry room in the basement. This room is a very nice sized room. You could also put storage in here, so you can decide what to use it for. This is the second bedroom. Also a really nice sized bedroom. This is the third bedroom. It's adjacent to the main bathroom. The main bathroom has 2 sinks. It has a toilet, it has a shower and a bathtub, so you could really choose what you want. Somebody's in the mood for a bath, they take a bath. If somebody's in the mood for a shower, they can take a shower. Actually, this walk-in closet could actually potentially be turned into an ensuite because it's right next to the plumbing. It could also be turned onto an ensuite. One of the things that we got a lot of requests for, like when people ask about, in Israel, is like they asked us about like the walk-in closets, and we're always like, it doesn't usually come with closets. We sort of, have to explain how it works in Israel. And here it comes with walk-in closets, which are beautiful.
With actual built-in closets, like not only just the rooms, which is very cool.
So now if we go all the way downstairs, down here, this is the basement. There is the safe room, the mamad, and right next to it, a bathroom, which is pretty much ensuite. You're able to put a door here if you wanted to, and it becomes an ensuite room. This is a really big size area. You can put a utility room. You can either put the laundry room here or upstairs, put an office here. You can use this for bedrooms. You can use this for a family room, a playroom.
Just for reference, the size of the basement is 92 square meters or 990 square foot. 2 bedroom apartments, a classic 2 bedroom apartment in Israel, is approximately 90 meters or even 80 meters in some cases. So this is like a very, very large space.
That's a good reference. And you can play pool. Have a pool?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. All right.
You got to be careful.
So this is a really, really, really unique home. Like I said before, it spans 318 square meters, which is 3,423 square feet, which is really, really big, especially for Israel sizes. Okay, so a lot of times when you look at Israeli developments, they talk about luxury, they talk about upgraded specifications, and they're all very nice, but this is taken to a whole new level, right? I remember speaking to Zahav, and he's like, I want to make this home for Anglo families transitioning to Israel, moving to Israel, making Aliyah, and I want to make them, something that's going to be comfortable for them. So we're like, yeah, but that, it's not simple to do. It requires work, it requires planning. And he's like, I'll do it. So like Lev said before, we were brainstorming and we just threw out a bunch of ideas, and he pretty much implemented one by one. If it's built-in closets, if it's an upgraded kitchen, because it's a massive kitchen, upgraded kitchen. We're talking about an outdoor jacuzzi, a modern fireplace. Just everything comes at at a really, really like a premium level. It's just amazing. A smart home. I think you can control the jacuzzi from the smart home. So it's already heated when you get home. Yeah, as you jump right in. So that's something very, very special and unique that this home comes.
I'm gonna hold you on that. I mean,
it makes you want to buy one, right? So this home actually comes really like well prepared for an Anglo family. So let's get down to business. So the price for these homes is only 4.9 million shekels. And the beauty of it is you only have to put down 20% on signing, and completion is guaranteed within 3 years, which is very unique. A lot of these developments make you pay over the course of the building. Here, we're only requiring 20% down, and the rest upon completion. And Azriel is going to speak about this in a second. There's no purchase tax for foreign buyers, which is a really, really big plus. We've had tremendous amount of interest. We're actually planning a trip to the US. So if you're interested in meeting us or hearing more, please reach out and we can try and arrange a meeting there. But this is a tremendous deal. Lev, what do you think a house like this in Ra'anana or Tel Aviv would cost?
We were looking at houses in Ra'anana the other day. House like this is easily 10 million shekel, and it's not going to be in the best condition.
So you're saying it's not even new, not necessarily upgraded or anything like that?
Yeah, not at all.
Right. So that's
yeah, definitely.
That sounds pretty appealing. You get to live in central Israel, but yet
And we're not even talking about Tel Aviv, Herzliya, areas like that. These homes could be triple the price, quadruple the price.
Wow, yeah. This is a really good deal. So, like Lev showed us before, we have the semi-attached homes, and we also have the apartments. So we're going to briefly go over the apartments, a couple of different apartments we have. A lot of people really like garden apartments, so we're just going to go over this very quickly. So the entrance to the garden apartment is from here. We have a living room, dining room area. We have one bedroom, the guest bathroom. We have the second bedroom, which is also the mamad, the bomb shelter, and a third bedroom, which is the master bedroom. It has a shower and a toilet. And this is the main bathroom. There are two entrances out to the garden, one through the living room dining room area, and also another one through the main bathroom. So this is one type of apartment. We have multiple types of apartment.
There's also a porch off of the master bedroom.
Right. There's also a porch.
It's hard to keep track of all the.
There's a lot of space. There's a lot of outdoor space. So this is one type of garden apartment. We have other types of garden apartments. So if this interests you, please reach out, and we'll help you find the right one for you. Another really unique apartment is this duplex penthouse. So on the main floor, we have the entrance over here. We have a kitchen and dining room living area, which is a really nice size space. We have a guest bathroom, and we have a beautiful porch overlooking a gorgeous view. If we go downstairs, this is downstairs towards the bedrooms, the floor where all the bedrooms are. We have the first bedroom over here, which is also the mamad. We have the second bedroom over here. This is the third bedroom, which is an ensuite. We have the fourth bedroom, which is over here, and then we have a master bedroom, which is also ensuite. So just to recap, there are 5 bedrooms and 2 are ensuite, and there's obviously another balcony over here just for people who want to spend time on balcony on this floor. They have that option, and like Lev said before, there's plenty of outdoor space. There's another small balcony here as well. So the prices for the apartments. We have garden apartments ranging from 2.1 million shekels all the way to 2.45, which is a great deal. Garden apartments anywhere else usually start sometimes even at double the prices, depending on the size of the apartment. We have 3-bedroom apartments.
Sometimes at least double the price.
At least double the price. Okay, I was being conservative, but places like Jerusalem, Beit Shemesh, Ra'anana, Tel Aviv, it's like triple the price, if not more. And there's great deals on these apartments. They're beautiful apartments. These apartments are actually going to be ready in late 2028. The homes are going to be ready in 3 years. They started working on the land, and they're going to move on to construction pretty soon. The 4-bedroom apartments are 2,180,000 shekels, and the duplex penthouse is 2,800,000 shekels, or 2.8 million shekels, which is a really great deal. So I'd like to invite my friend, our friend, Azriel Jacobowitz, who we've known for a bunch of years. First of all, he's a great person. He's a wonderful human being and an excellent lawyer. So please, if you could, Azriel, give us some of your insights about purchasing an apartment or a home in the Harey Zahav development.
in Israel in general, and
Israel.
especially in Judean
Yes.
area and this development.
Okay, hi. So first of all, Nechemya, great to see you again, and thank you for having me. Since I don't have access to the controls in the slideshow, so I'll let you know every time I need something changed. So I'll start just with a quick introduction of myself. My name is Azriel. I'm a real estate lawyer here in Israel. I've been working in the field for approximately 21, almost 22 years. I represent mainly buyers in the various developments, sometimes secondhand apartments. Um, and just to clarify, I don't work for Harey Zahav. They have their own in-house lawyer, but I've represented many times buyers who bought in different projects that they built. So a lot of experience with them, and I only have good things to say about them. But of course, my alliance is with the buyer, and I make sure the buyer gets the best deal. So I'd like to give you a quick overview of purchasing property in Israel in general, and then I'd like to focus more on this kind of deals here in Karnei Shomron and in Yehuda and Shomron specifically, because there are different laws and different limitations that apply specifically in this project that are very important to know. So first of all, when you're looking for property, the first thing you do is you find the right apartment, whatever is right for you in the right community, the right area in Israel, who the developer is, what the price is, does it fit your budget, and so on, and you negotiate with the developer or with the seller, whoever you're talking to, about all the commercial terms, which are usually the price, the payment terms, date of possession or completion. When you're working with a developer, so date of completion is not always negotiable because they have to take into account, how long it's going to take them to build. And they want to be on time because there are also serious penalties for being late in these kind of deals. And then you sign usually some kind of like a preliminary offer, as opposed to the States. In the States, deals over there are very different in their structure. First, when you go, many times you see an open house, you make an offer, you put down a very, very small amount just to show that you're serious, and then you go into the due diligence, and once you see that everything is done, that's when you do a closing and you complete everything, usually, especially in secondhand apartments. You sign the contract, you make all the payments, you get the mortgage, you get possession, you get title. In Israel, it's very different also because of the way property is registered, and specifically when you're buying on paper, what's called a new development that's not built yet. So over here, you do all the due diligence and everything before you sign, and you're not obligated at all at this point. And then once you see that everything is good and you like the property, that's when you turn to a lawyer. The lawyer negotiates the legal terms with the contractor, with the developer. At the same time, you'll also check as far as financing. You can consult with a mortgage broker if you need financing. Uh, Foreigners can get up to 50% financing in Israel, or depending on their income. They have to show that they have income and ability to make the monthly payments. And once you sign the contract, you just make the payments along the way. Over here, it's only two, like Lev and Nechemya just said. It's 20% when you sign, and then 80% upon completion, which are very good payment terms. Because let's say if you're taking financing, it'll only be at the end. Sometimes you have to start taking your mortgage in the middle and start paying back, making mortgage payments while the construction is going on. You're not living there, you're not collecting rent. Over here, that doesn't happen in this deal. And then, of course, once it's ready, they call you, they'll let you know, you make the final payment. You can have an inspection on your behalf, and you take possession. Of course, me as a lawyer, I'm there along the way, and also after, until the end, and more if anything comes up. I'm always available to help and connect with the developer on any kind of basis, if it's with the lawyers or with as far as financing, anything that's necessary. You can go to the next slide. Okay, so when you're
Before you just
negotiating,
continue, I just want to tell people that they could use that we have a chat box that any questions that you guys have, you could for us or for Israel, or any questions you might have, you could put in the chat box and we'll try to answer each and every question.
Thank you. Okay, great. So, while after you sign, only after you sign the contract, you can make changes depending on the phase of construction. As long as they didn't start working on something specific, you can always make changes. You can make exterior changes. You cannot do that because that has to do with building permits and changing in the permits, and they can't do that during construction. But any internal changes, locations of light fixtures, walls, if you want one room bigger than the other, or like they gave an example before, having the laundry room moved from the top floor to the bottom floor, or to whatever you want, whatever is possible and is according to code and won't cause damage. That's negotiable. Some of the things might cost money because if it's extra work or extra material. Of course, whatever is in the standard over here, the standard is upgraded to begin with. But if you don't like what they're offering as far as the color of tiles or anything like that, you could always upgrade. You turn to the suppliers of the project. They have already all the information, all the numbers, the sizes, quantities. They just say, I bought apartment number 3 in the Harey Zahav project in Karnei Shomron. They'll know exactly the quantities. You can buy from them something upgraded, and you'll get a credit for whatever you didn't take. And that's during construction. So eventually you get something that's custom made. It's not just, that they put on you something that they developed and or planned, and you like things a little differently. So there is plenty of wiggle room over there. You can go to the next slide. Okay, so prices, usually when you buy from a developer, price is linked to what's called the construction index, which is the inflation rate. It's a very specific inflation rate. It's not the general one. The government publishes monthly how much prices went up. They have an algorithm, and they calculate. So there's a specific index for cost of construction for residential purposes for homes. And the price is linked to that index, but not the entire price. First of all, anything that's paid already is not linked. It doesn't influence the entire price. And also, according to the recent changes to the law, a developer can't charge more than 40% of whatever the increase in inflation was. Like the first 20% of the price will be completely index free, and then the rest, the 80% of the price, whatever it goes up, let's say it went up 5% in those years, the difference will be you'll only have to add 2.5% to that. So when I talk about other closing costs, so Lev mentioned a few times, he gave teasers about the purchase tax. So really, usually the biggest closing cost for a buyer in Israel, for a foreign buyer, is the purchase tax. An Israeli, let's say an Israel resident who's buying his only property, not first, it could be only because you could switch along the way, will pay lower tax. It goes in brackets. The first 2 million are always free of tax, and as long as the more you go up, the percentage goes up on the difference. And if you're buying an investment property, an additional property, even if you're an Israeli resident, you'll pay 8%. So foreign residents are considered for this purpose as someone who's making an investment. It doesn't matter if he owns something in the country that he lives in or not, and he has to pay this 8% purchase tax. Now, every single law in Israel, unfortunately, because of all politics over here, has to be applied specifically in Yehuda v'Shamron, and they do it very delicately to prevent different problems. The Israeli tax law, the property tax law that talks about capital gains tax on sales and purchase tax on buying was applied, but it was applied in the way and wording that if it's a foreign buyer, someone who is neither an Israeli citizen nor an Israeli resident, you have to be neither, then this entire law doesn't apply to you. File a statement, and they say that you're not. We say you're not an Israeli resident or citizen, and the law just doesn't apply to him. It's not even an exemption. So you could buy it. You're not going to pay any purchase tax. Um, and the other closing costs, usually you pay a lawyer, mortgage broker, sometimes you have a real estate agent whenever applicable, so mortgage broker whenever applicable. Basically, these are the closing costs. Of course, people charge different fees, but it's always best to consult and to take someone who knows what he's doing in a specific field. Um, there are different costs also to the developer himself on top of the prices that Lev and Nechemya mentioned. They're very small, but you have to just know about them. Developers tend to ask from buyers to pay or contribute to their legal expenses. In the past, it used to be a lot of money, but the law also, there are a lot of consumer laws in Israel that protect buyers of property from developers. We'll go into some of them a little later, but they limited how much you're allowed to charge, and today basically it's approximately 6,000 shekel, and that's it. Of course, we spoke about the upgrades and additions to the standard, but that's up to you if you didn't do anything, so you're not going to be paying anything extra. Now, there's in Israel, everything has
Andrea,
value added.
with this properties, it's these homes are gorgeous. They like almost nothing needs to be added. This is
Right.
like
Right. Yeah, it's
it's like
very,
we
very nice.
designed them so pretty much you only bring your furniture and you're set to go.
You do need furniture and you do need appliances. But let's say you don't even need all the walk-in closets are all taken care of. So you don't really need any closets. But you do need basic furniture like couches, tables, and some appliances.
What about AC?
AC is included.
Included.
Okay,
Throw
so
some
so you
more
should
things
know,
at us.
right. So everyone should just know that this is not usual. Okay, usually when you buy from a developer, you're buying bare walls. The only thing you'll get inside is the kitchen. Usually also the bathroom
If you're lucky,
cabinets.
you get a kitchen.
Very
Right. Yeah,
basic.
very
Very
small.
basic.
No, it's yeah, you always get a kitchen, but it'll be very small and basic, and you'll always have to upgrade it. I've never seen a developer who gives a hot tub. Yeah, after a long day of work, you really made the little, I also like to, that beer appeals to me as well. But I've never
Well,
seen
okay, well,
anything.
fine, fine. We'll invite you for a barbecue. We'll get you some beer. Don't worry.
No problem. Great. After a long day of work, but I've seriously
We'll
never
even have
seen
a pool
this
table.
kind of standard.
The pool table is not included, but we'll get a pool table in the basement.
Amazing. So it's that's as far as the standard. It's really most people won't have to make any changes. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. So this talks about we're talking now about consumer laws, but also, have to make sure that it's in the contract as well. As I mentioned, consumer laws in Israel are very strict in favor of buyers buying from a developer. So when you're buying a pre-existing property, it doesn't exist. When you're buying like a private house, you're buying it as is. You sign, you have to make your inspections, and that's what you see is what you get, and that's it. The seller has no warranty, no responsibility towards you whatsoever, as long as he disclosed everything when you're buying something from a developer in pre-construction. So there are very, very specific standards and law regulations. They have to live up to them. There are extended warranties for the quality of construction, let's say leaks, okay, from rain, from things like that. A 7-year warranty altogether. So as you see, if after 7 years you had no leaks, that you're usually free and clear. But that's in the law, and we make sure that the developer has, is complies with that. There are also penalties. We spoke about completing it on time. They said 36 months. I know a lot of people hear a lot of horror stories about projects that got stuck. Usually, it's not this kind of deal. Usually, it's a kind of deal which is called a buyer's group. You're not buying from a developer, or in this case, getting construction services with warranties and all the other consumer laws applying. But the people get together and they have someone arranging, and they hire professionals to build for them. Usually, in these kinds of deals, you'll have a lot of delays. Over here, the builders are aware of the severe penalties. Talking about from after 30 days of being late, they start paying rent that you could have received for this kind of house for 8 months if they're late up to that much, of course, and or if in 4 months, sorry, and then it goes up to 125 percent of the rent that you could get, and then it goes up to 150% of the rent. So the developers do not want to be late. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so as far as financing, as I said, I'm a lawyer, not a mortgage broker. We do work with very good mortgage brokers, but just to give you a general idea, it is definitely possible for foreigners, for people living outside of Israel to get mortgages. You can get up to 50% if you're not living here. You have to show your income, make sure that it's okay, but they put a mortgage on the property, and it's really not a big issue as long as you're working with the right people. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so I think we spoke about the taxes. I'd like to just mention a few things, a few limitations that apply specifically to these type of projects. There are different types of ownership or rights in real estate in Israel. Within what's called not within the green line. I don't like that term, but that's what people use. So there's an official land registry of the state of Israel, and over there you get registered as an owner. In other areas within the Green Line, also outside in Yehuda and Shomron, you have long-term capitalized leases or something it's called barishut. It's like permission, but it's a very solid type of ownership. It's so solid that every single bank in Israel will give a mortgage to that kind of purchase of rights. So if the banks vetted it and said it's safe enough, so you know that it's a very good way of registration. Most of the small communities in Yehuda and Shomron are registered this way. It's an organ of the World Zionist Organization. It's called the Hativa L'Hitiyashvut, the Settlement Division, and they manage the rights. So what you basically get over here, you get the land for free. Sounds crazy, but you're getting the land for free. And your contract with Harey Zahav is a construction service agreement in which we put in all the regular consumer laws. We suck them into the contract, even though it's not a regular purchase agreement. We make sure the buyers are protected. So the reason I'm bringing this boring stuff up is because you have to know that when you have rights called barishut, a few limitations apply. The first one is that each person or couple can only own one property under the entire called barishut system. That means, let's say you have a property you bought in Karnei Shomron, and then you want to buy one in Elazar, Neve Daniel, and near Gush Etzion, or you want to buy a second property in Karnei Shomron, which connects to what Lev and Nechemya mentioned before about buying two houses and connecting them because the zoning calls them two houses and they're registered as two houses. So not just technically would be a problem to buy and connect, but also legally, if it's one person or one couple, you can't buy two. Right? To think maybe if two couples, if you have, of course, a very good relationship and a lot of trust, which is a dirty word for lawyers, you don't say trust by us. But in such a case, so maybe you could buy together with another couple and connect. But in general, you're not allowed to own more than one property in Barishut. That's limitation number one. Limitation number two is the option of selling the property because the purpose and the reason they're giving it to you for free, which is, again, I said it sounds crazy, but the reason they're doing it is to settle the land. So they don't want people just buying it and quickly flipping it and making a quick buck. This is not the place for that. So you have to hold on to it for at least 5 years from the day you buy it. It used to be a different limitation about rent, but that doesn't apply anymore. They saw that it's not enforceable, so they removed it completely. So you can rent it out, but you have to hold on to it for at least 5 years from completion of construction. That's number two. And the third and last limitation, in general, because I said it's meant for settlement, people are supposed to or expected to be living in it. So when if someone who is not an Israeli citizen buying this kind of property, they want to ensure at least as much as they can. They can't go all the way, but that the buyer has intentions on coming to Israel and living on the property. So even though not living, just coming to Israel. So you have to, before or in order to get the rights, you have to sign a statement, an affidavit saying that you intend on making Aliyah. You don't have to say when, completing it in a reasonable amount of time. So you intend of making Aliyah and coming, and you have to show that you filed an application for Aliyah. You don't have to show that you went through with it all the way, but let's say if you go on the Nefesh B'Nefesh website and you complete the application, you can get a letter from them confirming that you completed an application for Aliyah. So signing this statement accompanied with the letter from Nefesh B'Nefesh confirming that you applied for Aliyah will enable you to get the rights. I've done this for several clients in the States recently in different projects in Yehuda Shomron, so it's definitely doable. Uh, I think in a nutshell, there's so much more, but our time is also limited. So I think we'll stop over here and we'll take a look at the Q&As. Lev, if you could look at, see what people asked and if there's anything directed to me, I'm glad to assist. And of course, if Lev and Nechemya later on send my contact information, my email address, my phone number, I'm always available. I also I travel pretty often to the States, and I meet with people. I help them with anything that has to do with purchasing, opening a bank account in Israel, which is something that I do for many, many clients, notarizing documents for the purpose of the purchase. So please share my contact information so anyone who needs help to move forward is able to do that easily. Thank you.
Will do. We also are going to send, so you could scan this barcode to reach Nechemya directly, and we're also going to send a follow-up email with the recording and everything. But let's go over a couple of the questions. Yeah, you wanted to say something?
No.
So let's go over a couple of the questions. So one person here asked about a kosher kitchen. A kosher kitchen means that there is a dairy and a meat sink, and it's a proper and properly separated. Another person asked about stairs. So we do have some units that have elevators and have easier access in the apartments, not in the semi-attached homes. But even in the semi-attached homes, we could possibly modify the entrance to first floor level. That way it's leveled with the ground level. And you'll also be able to have a bedroom on the first floor as well. You could play around. There's a lot of space there. What else did people ask? This is a question for you, Israel. If you make Aliyah, do you have to pay purchase tax?
Okay, so the answer is no. The tax is determined based on the date of the purchase. Once you purchase, you file the tax report, so that's what counts. Afterwards, if you change your status, they don't backtrack and make you pay. The same way that if you bought an apartment living in Israel and then you left and ceased to be an Israeli resident, they're not going to say, "Oh, now you have to pay the taxes." So it's based on the time of purchase.
Right. There's another person that asked here about the sizes of the apartments. So we'll send over we're going to send over a follow-up email with some information, but you could always reply back and we'll send you the sizes of the apartments. What else did people ask here? People were asking here about the type of people that live in Karnei Shomron. So it's a very diverse type of crowd. But there are a lot of, I would say about 70 or 80% are religious, but then you have about 20% that are not religious, 30% that are not religious. As I said, there's a very nice Anglo population here. There are about 200 Anglo families that already live in Karnei Shomron. Our development is approximately, I would say, anywhere between 7 and 10 minute walk from Neve Eliza, which is the Anglo community. Ours is just like its own little hub. Another person asked about hospitals. So we're literally in central Israel. So there are a few different hospitals that are, I would say, depending on traffic and stuff like that, even though that there isn't a lot of traffic for ambulances, but anywhere between 25 minutes and half an hour, something like that. But they are building an emergency room here in Karnei Shomron as well.
Somebody just asked about the walking distance to the nearest shul. So the nearest shul is the Young Israel, which is the main shul in the Anglo community, and it's around, like Lev said, it's like a 7 minute walk. It's very close. Another interesting fact about the community in Karnei Shomron is that it's not only diverse religiously, but it's also the age groups. So there are people who moved there 30 years ago. and they've been living there ever since. And now a much younger crowd has been, coming in and moving in, and sort of the community has been growing. So there's, no matter who you are or what stage you are in life, there's room for you. If you're retired and want a retirement environment, there are people like that, and if you want a young family type of environment, then we also have that, which is really, really amazing.
Yeah, look, I want to just conclude here because it's getting late, but Karnei Shomron is really an incredible place, and it's very, very, very practical to live there for work, and at the same time, you're living in a very, very nice, calm, suburban type of environment that has everything. So it's not one of those, there are yeshuvim all over the place that are beautiful, but they're stuck in the middle of nowhere without access to anything. So here you have access to everything, but you still have that, in the middle of nowhere feeling, but you just could go to the stores, to the banks, to the doctor's offices, and to everything you need. And I really think that, especially with these homes that we designed and the whole the village in the Karnei Shomron, you literally have the best type of place to move. And like Nechemya said, it's fit for all ages. And it's literally the best place to host grandchildren and to raise a family and for everything in between. So thank you so much for joining us. We
Thank
really
you.
had a lot of people here for a long time, and we appreciate you. And we're going to send a follow-up email.
Thank you so much. Azria, have a wonderful evening.
And Chanukah
Thank
Sameach.
you. Thank you, Chanukah Sameach, everyone. Bye.